Video, når jeg skal slappe af. Bare tryk på knappen, så er der gang i kassen nu. Jeg er videoman. Hey guys, and welcome to this video. It's Tuesday today and I've actually spent all morning and throughout like lunchtime trying to organize my walk-in closet, but you're gonna see that in a vlog tomorrow on my channel. Today we're gonna talk about 5 ways to piss off a Danish person, or at least get on their nerves just a bit. This is not the first Danish themed video I've made. I've also done one how to flirt in Danish. I've done Danish lessons in the Danish language and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put my playlist down below to all of my Danish related videos. And I think we should get started with this one. So let's say that you moved to Denmark and you've been living here for a couple of years. That's the time where people will start to expect that you have learned some Danish and that you are very motivated to learn our language. Danes don't really like to hear about people who've been living here for decades but still don't really speak Danish. That's something that will bug us, and it will be, from a Danish perspective, it will look like this person or these people wouldn't want to become a part of the society and a part of the country that they're now in. So that is one thing that will bug Danish people a lot. So if you want to move here and be here, you have to learn the Danish language. Sorry guys, it's hard, it's difficult, I know. But on the other hand, if you have been in Denmark for a short amount of time, like a year, 2 years, and you have started to catch up on a lot of Danish words and you're trying to use it and you've become good at it, this is also a thing that will impress Danish people so much. Like, we had this guy in my high school and he came from a Spanish country. I don't even remember where. I didn't really talk to him much. But in like 1 year, he had learned to speak so well in Danish because he was really trying to. He was, to every person he spoke to, he was like, don't even talk to me. Try to talk to me in English or in Spanish. I want to learn the Danish language. So he was, to all of the teachers, a very, very impressive young guy, and that is something Danes really, really like. So number 2, another way to really annoy people in Denmark is if you're not showing any decency in the supermarkets. If you skip in line or you're just not being polite, that's a thing that will really bug Danish people. One thing is that if you are buying, let's say that you have gone shopping and you want to buy stuff for the next year. We all know those people who have just filled up a big wagon with stuff and you're actually just there to just get a milk. And there's only one register open. It is a common thing in Denmark that the people with the massive explosion of things, they will be like, you can skip me and pay for yours first. But I think most Danish people, if they experience that situation and the people in front of you with the ton of things didn't really let you go first, I think that would annoy a Danish person. I actually think it would. So decency in the supermarket, guys, that is important to the Danish people. Also just saying hi to the person in the register and just being polite, it's very important. Number 3 is something Denmark is very, very known for, and it's the law of jante. And I think most people have heard about it. In Danish we call it janteloven. And basically what really, really annoys people in Denmark, we are very socialistic country. So when people that have a lot of money or are in a very, very good position in some way, maybe they're very, very good at sports or they're famous in some way, if they brag about it or are being very, very, I don't know, just bragging and big-headed, that is gonna bug Danish people a lot. I've actually forgotten to say if these things are true to me as well. But this one is actually, I personally don't really like when people are getting very big-headed. To me, you can be very, very good at something. As an example is if you're a very good badminton player, football player, whatever, you can be very good at that and still be very, very polite and kind towards anyone. I don't really like the mentality that just because you're good at something, that makes you better than someone else, and you can expect that people treat you differently. I think that is the Danish way of thinking about it, that we're all equal, and even just because you're really good at something or just because you're making a lot of money doesn't make you better than others in general. Yeah, that's the way the Danish people think. It's very like deep in our souls, I think, and it is to me too. And we don't really want to hear about you bragging about your new expensive car because, well, to me, I just don't really care about your stupid car, but to Danes, it's not polite to brag. So number 4, when people on bike doesn't give signals. That is apparently something that bugs Danish people a lot. And I must say, I don't have my driver license, but I have experienced that so many times, like driving with my mom or driving with my sister or anyone, that if the people on the bike lane, they don't really show where they're going, like that will annoy the people in the car so much. Denmark is also very known for like having these special bike lanes for, like, you know, the bikes, so that the people on the bikes in Denmark, they are not on the same path as the cars. They kind of have their own lane. And actually I read that more than 50% of the people living in Copenhagen, our capital, they ride their bikes to work every day. I think that's really impressive, like half of the people. Well done, Copenhagen. But that is because we've also made sure that these bike lanes are everywhere, and it's very, very safe and secure to like ride your bike around. But that is one thing to remember. If you visit Denmark, you have to be very aware of where these bike lanes are, because suddenly you will be walking around on one and you will be run over by a bike instead of a car. So that is also a part of the Danish culture, definitely. And number 5 is something that probably won't piss off a Dane, but it's something that we just don't understand at all, and it's the "how are you" that British people use quite often. A Danish person just doesn't really understand why you would want to ask that, because to us it's not because you really care, it's just something you say, and we just don't know how to answer the question, because we would probably not like naturally just say fine, how are you, but we would be like, we would be going into a longer explanation to like, I'm fine because I had this great day, or I'm not very fine because my bike was flat and therefore I had to take the bus. Like, you know, it's not natural to us to just be like, fine, how are you? And we think it's weird to ask the question because it's just something you ask everyone. Like, it's a very, not to say fake, but we just find it odd. I think we do, and I am one of those as well. Like, I had a visitor here from Great Britain called Harry, and I spoke to him about it. Like, I don't understand why you just say it, because it's not because you're interested, are you? It's like, it's something you say without even thinking about it. But I just think it's something that Danes just can't really grasp. Like, we just don't really understand why you will ask if you don't care. Like, not because you don't care, but if for us. So those were actually the 5 things that I've written down that will piss off a Danish person, or at least get on their nerves or annoy them a bit. So that is very important to know if you are ever gonna come and visit Denmark, or in case you want to annoy a Danish person on purpose, of course. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about my new backdrop. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and again, I'm gonna put a link down below to the playlist with all of my Danish related videos, and I hope you are gonna check them out. And subscribe if you aren't. I post videos from Monday to Friday, so there is a lot of content to stay tuned for. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow, of course. Bye.